This week on the podcast, the one and only Chris Lake.
Essentially what we do in our music is for predominantly, not exclusively, but predominantly for young people.
We are in a business where, just like the rest of the world, if something works for somebody, it's probably going to work for other people.
I think it's important to try and understand what's happening in the industry today, what's happening with youth culture musically, understand what's popular, what makes it good. And I like being honest to be productive. I like seeing people win.
How's it going, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good, man. Good. How's it been back?
Not too bad. I mean, I had a pretty early start today. I was doing this in the studio recording with
Oh, really?
with DJ Mag, and I kind of I, it's one of those ones where I kind of like blindly agreed to it, and then I didn't realize that it was an in the studio, like, making a track from scratch thing, and I'm like, oh God, this has really got the potential to be like very misleading and very
Yeah.
unflattering.
Yeah.
Um, Luckily, and ended up. I started doing it, and I started making something, and I was like, wow, this is really quite bad. And then luckily something started clicking, and I actually think I've made something that I might play. But the downside to it was a 10 a.m. start, and as you know, if I'm coming back from LA, I'm on an 8-hour time difference. I'd got to bed like at 5. I
Yeah.
was knackered, absolutely knackered. So I'm just kind of struggling now, but I'm highly caffeinated, so I might talk a lot, and I might just go
Just space out.
completely vacate.
To be fair, mate, the more you talk, the easier it is for me. So just crack on. Just get
I've got
talking.
you.
How
I've got
many
you.
times do you do that in your life, in your career, where you agree to things and then you were like, fuck, why did I agree to that? This
um,
podcast being one of them.
oh fuck, Will Clark.
Oh, fuck.
Um, no, it's just it's not really about. I wouldn't say it's like I get kind of bothered that I've
Yeah.
agreed to things and I don't want to do them. It's really a case of maybe like a lot of things that you kind of agree to quite far back, and then there's like you end up having like a bit of a time crunch, there's just too many things going on at that
Yeah.
time, and you realize you're a bit overcommitted. That's more likely the sort of thing that happens, and normally it's like things that are going on with records
Yeah.
that bug me. Like if I I'm kind of bad for making lots and lots of changes on songs, and sometimes I could just one day decide that I want to completely change something very last minute, and it causes so many problems, but I have to do it. I have to go through with it,
Yeah.
and it causes me lots and lots of problems. So
What
that
are they?
happens quite often.
What are those problems?
Things that only really matter to me,
Yeah.
but that matters. So just things like maybe just realizing I can get more out of a mix down. I can make it sit better, um, and then you know it, it would seem kind of technically it would seem quite easy to swap a master in this digital world.
Yeah.
um
It's
you
not.
just think it's like upload a file,
Mm.
replace,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it just replaces everywhere. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately, which is kind of surprising, but and I wish it did work like that, but you really have to do it in a specific way, and it really pisses people off,
Yeah. Because
and I
otherwise,
do it all the
like
time.
when we did this, like I was speaking to the label that I was working with at the time, and they were like, yeah, you have to make sure if you're replacing a file, you have to make sure that it's
It's
literally
sample accurate.
exactly the same length as well. Like it has to be exactly the same. Otherwise, you
Yeah,
have
or
to
it resets like your playlist things,
everything.
your play
Yeah, yeah,
counts and all that.
yeah.
Yeah,
And it's like
it's a problem.
I think there's a thing like Apple don't like if you've ingested a record, taken it out, and then you ingest it in like 2 months' time or something like that, you have to put different artwork because they don't like the same artwork being in the system. We've had it multiple times, and you're like, guys, you're the biggest tech companies in the world. Can you not just take it
Yeah,
easy?
I do think it's something that could be improved a little
Yeah,
bit, you know. But anyway, that's that. But that's the sort of thing I do. I do that quite often. It's sort of um, yeah. You know, I'm just a perfectionist. I like things to be.
perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it's also tough. You know, like I had to hand this album, and even though this is on my own label with my own
Yeah.
team, I had to finish this. I had to finish this album and hand it in at the beginning of February.
Mm,
The release date's 11th of July.
yeah.
You know, that's a long time to kind of like go, there we go.
It's really long.
I'm absolutely satisfied with
Yeah.
everything I've done, and there's no changes. You know,
And
and
not
then
also being able to listen to it and go, fuck, that hi hat or that kick or that vocal need, like it's really hard to like
so in
not.
reality, I have changed. I have changed quite a few things last
Yeah,
minute, and it's been
tough,
yeah.
especially in an album because when you're ingesting it all as one piece of work, which obviously I know you're not nowadays because you're doing singles and things like that. But
Mhm.
yeah, I can imagine the team are well happy with you.
Whatever.
Why
I'll
an
figure it out.
album? Why an album in 2025? Albums are
Yeah,
pointless.
I've definitely asked myself that same question, but
Yeah,
I guess I mean you'll understand this sort of. I think like would you say this kind of like this kind of run I've been on was that started probably from like Operator, which
yeah,
you remixed. There was kind of like this like progressive march towards this ever like this like oversimplification of
yeah,
ideas
yeah, yeah,
that made it very, very, very good for the dance floor.
yeah,
Worked really, really well, really effective. But I kind of I got to this point where I realized I actually started going through some old demos. You know, I saved everything I do and like clips of little projects I've done. And I was listening to some of these ideas that I'd written. I don't know, maybe back in 2017, 18, 19. They were very musical. And I was like, I started thinking, I don't even know. I just don't write like this anymore. I kind of, and I miss it. I miss the musicality of it. But whenever I'd actually tried to do anything musical, I stumbled a little bit because it just felt musical and not like not like a really it, like the compromise of a good dance track.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I had this sort of I had this kind of vision and goal of kind of merging the two, but
Mm,
like without as much of the compromise, making just trying to make a better song, and that like it it was quite a mission. Honestly, I felt like I had to do a lot of relearning about how I put together my tracks and how I incorporated music chords and still had power
yeah,
in the low end and but just trying to make it more interesting as a song. And so you know, I started working with a bunch of people, became much more open to collaboration. Not like I've ever been shy of a collaboration. You know, I've collaborated all the time, but I like in particular with my own stuff, I was really more prepared to work with anyone and everyone. If I had an idea for a sound and I had an idea of someone that was great at that specific thing,
yeah,
I'd call them rather
mm,
than try to do what they do. I just call them
yeah,
and like, do you want to work with me and like work on this? And that was really fun. And yeah, anyway, so over like the first year of putting together the album, I was working on it for 2 years. The first year of the album was kind of like just learning stuff, just trying things, plotting things out, and then the second year was like bringing it all together.
yeah,
And I definitely feel like a much more kind of complete producer off the
yeah,
back of doing this album. So like it's just been like a bit of fun for me, but like something to excuse me, just had my dinner. Something to focus on. It was like just trying to just trying to make better music, honestly, and
Mm.
put it together, like, and then showcase what I'd learned over over that 2 year period, and that's really what I've put together. So,
Yeah, I think there's also like a level of right, and I don't know if you agree with me on this, but it was the reason why I wrote an album was because I feel like it's writing singles is great, writing club records is great. You and I both love writing a club record,
mhm.
but I feel like sometimes it can get quite formulaic when you know what's going to work on a dance floor once you've done it a few times, and then it's like how do you progress that? How do
Well,
you make that better?
yeah, that's exactly what I was kind of like indicating. I kind of um, felt like like an end of a sound was kind of like
Hmm.
was upon us, and I kind of, it's almost like you can feel, you can sense like a, you can sense a trick that
Yeah.
the industry's cottoned on to, you know?
Well, it's kind of when
It's a
everyone's
trend.
yeah, it's kind of when everyone starts sounding like you.
Yeah.
Let's be
So
honest. Like
yeah.
you created something that worked very well for you, and we are in a business where, just like the rest of the world, if something works for somebody, it's probably going to work for other people, and that's when you get people making the same record as you. And I'm not saying that's what everyone's doing, but
There
it
was
comes
quite
to
a
a
lot
point.
though. Yeah,
Yeah,
there was quite a lot, and like, that's good. That's good. It's sort of like it's good validation for, you know, that time period.
yeah,
That's nice. It's nice for me. It's actually fucking annoying for me, honestly. But like,
yeah.
you know, it's but only briefly, because at the
Mm,
end of the day, I'm not quite at that stage where I want to go, you know what,
I'm out.
done it. I'm going to
Yeah.
kick back and put my feet up. So,
Well, we spoke about this on the last one, right? You've had like three careers in one career.
like a shit that won't flush.
Just fucking never goes away. It's the floater. It's those peas. But I think
Oh, I'm
is
still
also
here,
is
motherfuckers. I'm still here.
right, and I think that's the thing is that it's you've
Yeah.
done it so well and also so bad at the same time in certain ways. And I really don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I mean that in like
No.
you've learned from the things that you've done well and then replicated that over time.
Mhm.
But like you have to go through shit. You have to have a shit period to then get to that, right? Like it's not always been where it is now.
I think we spoke about, yeah, I think we spoke about this on the last one. Like
Yeah.
that was one of that was the best thing that happened to me, was kind of like making some really bad mistakes,
Mm.
and it gave me the drive to like just not do that. And actually, it really focused me on what was important to me. And yeah, I've really lived by that. So it's been great.
Mm.
It's been great.
But then going to do the album and then coming out of the album, is there a plan, or is it literally let's just concentrate on that?
Is there a plan for for the post album?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to go back to what you were doing before, right? There's going to be elements of that.
Yeah, there'll be elements of it. So the second element is more of like what's the right way to put this? Look, I'm getting older,
Yeah.
so I'm not uh, over the hill, but I am getting older, and there's life considerations to this. You know, I'm 42 now. I've been on the road pretty solid for 20 years now,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
um, and I don't want to be on the road 12 months of the year.
Mm.
And I think like the second thing that attracted me to the second thing that attracted me to like the album format is more strategic, and that's the
Cycles.
cycles. Yeah. So you know, I feel like I have a platform now to actually, you know, release an album and for it to be heard.
Yeah.
I have a fan base, and yeah, so I can release an album, get it heard, and I can also then change the way that I tour.
Yeah.
So I can tour around an album. I can
Mm.
take long periods off, and I really do want to. I want to move to that, because I have spent too long. on the road, and
Yeah.
that's just I just want to spend more time with my family,
Yeah.
and do some other things. I haven't been very good in life at doing other things, but I've been very good at doing music, and that's like might be a generational thing, a generational thing, uh, a British thing, as well as you know a kind of something I've learned from my family as well. I come from
Yeah.
good, beautiful workers, and
But I also just don't think you can do this life without putting that much into it.
yeah.
And unless you're willing to let everyone do everything around you, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
So, but that's the other thing. So, kind of like I think I'm learning as I go on to just focus my efforts better and better, and
Yeah.
trying to create special moments. So that kind of like goes back to the shows, and what I've been developing over years. Um, I guess I didn't even realize I was kind of like moving towards this. But someone
Mm,
pointed this out. That was saying like, you know, you seem to be like more and more focused on special moments, and I guess that's really what I'm trying to do. And I'm trying to do that with music. And I really don't. But this is another thing. I really don't buy in to the mass degradation of value in music. I still really believe in the value of my music,
yeah.
whether it makes me 1 cent or $1 million.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like, I care about my music and my output. I value it. And I believe that if I believe it's valuable, I think other people will
Other
too.
people will. But I think,
And yeah,
yeah, but I think sadly that's kind of where we've seen the industry go to a certain extent of like of algorithms, right? And that battle that everyone's saying, oh, you have to release this much music and you have to do that. But then you look at some of the biggest artists in the world and they release 4 times a year and it's just fucking great quality.
yeah, yeah. So I think, I guess this sort of, how I've been progressing, it's allowing me to put more focus into, moments with my shows,
Yeah.
and moments with my music. And I think an album plays into that. You're able to make more of a moment, and that's been really, especially been really fun working on this one. I've been planning this one for, well, been planning the release of it and
Yeah.
the rollout of it for over a year.
Yeah.
Um, it's working. It's actually worked really good. I'm really proud of it, because this definitely could have quite easily been a flop. But even what we're now, well, it's just been released. Um,
Sounds great, mate.
and
Sounds
even
great.
thank you. And well, let's just say that we were recording this 2 weeks before it came out. Let's just theoretically say that.
Yeah.
So even if you know nothing got listened to on the release day, it's been a success.
I
Like,
love
at
that.
this point now, it's been a success.
Yeah.
So,
I
and
guess
that's a nice feeling.
what do you class as a success? Because I think we all have different levels of success, right? And like I look at my album and I go, well, yeah, it didn't stream well, but I did something that I've never done before and I
Mhm,
fucking made some great music, right?
mhm,
That's a
mhm.
success. But like the
Yeah,
success on the business side of front, like
yeah.
it was tough, right? And it
Mhm.
was a tough process and the whole process of releasing it was tough. But you're doing it independently, you're kind of doing your thing. Like what is a success for the album?
Um, well, yeah, that's a good question. It's streamed well so far,
Yeah.
so I think we're at, as of 2 weeks before release, we're at about 30 million streams.
Wow.
So, yeah, and the first track from that was "Ease My Mind" with Abel
Yeah.
Balder. Um, Toxic's not even on there, because
Mm.
Toxic isn't on the album, which was the one that I released with Reggie Ban. Um,
Which did which smashed, right?
Yeah, it did really well. It's kind of like, it definitely
11,
sat there like, what? I don't know, might have made a mistake not putting this on the album,
12
but
million.
yeah. So it's been a success. It's like and it's also, we've got great support,
Yeah.
got really good got press off of it, and it's opened up doors for shows. There's lots of things that have been a success off the back of doing this, and I can see how I can see where my career um, how my career can fall in line with my vision of how I want to tour
Yeah.
off the back of this. So it's a success.
Nah,
So
man.
let's see how it goes in.
2 weeks.
Well, I haven't opened up my Spotify for the last few days since it's been
Oh, really?
released.
um, I, I love the album concepts. Like for me, it was coming out of COVID, and it was like I I want to at least have some albums under my belt. Like I'd been releasing music for by then about 15 years, and was like, okay, like it's kind of an egotistical thing for me. It was kind of like I want to people to be able to click on whatever platform they click on and go albums, and there's an album and there's a fucking insane art cover and kind of yeah. So I want to talk about the art because I fucking love it.
Oh, thank you.
Like, why all of
I
this?
worked with well, actually, you know what, the uh the person that I worked with for all of the art and creative direction, the girl called Sarah
Yeah,
Bassett.
yeah, yeah.
Do you know Sarah?
I don't, but
You read
Ryan,
up on
yeah,
her off the
yeah,
back of
yeah,
this,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So who put me in touch with Sarah was Jesse Rose.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
That's why he still hates me.
really,
Yeah.
that's funny. Jesse's a funny bastard. He actually got kicked out of my show in Sydney a
Did he
couple of weeks.
really?
Yeah, yeah. Too
Oh.
drunk. He was hammered. I'll tell you some stories off air. They're fucking
Well, the
hilarious.
reason why he hates me was this was years ago, and don't get me wrong, I've not seen him since that day. Is
He won't hate you.
he wanted to sign a record from me, like this was years ago, like 15 years ago. And I was like, yeah, dude, sign it. And then he didn't respond to us for 2 months. So we signed it somewhere else.
Okay. Yeah.
And then he came back and was like, you cunts, blah, 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 fuck you. Yeah. I love him. I love what he's done in the past.
Yeah. Well, so he's now
It's
really,
insane.
he's really into the working with, he's essentially like a creative kind of,
Creative
um,
director.
but he's not, I don't think he's a creative director, but he's almost like, he's like I think I'm maybe doing him a disservice, like an agent for creative directors. He'll team up like
Yeah, he's like the
creatives
middleman.
with
Yeah.
like the middleman
Yeah.
between creatives and artists.
And his stuff's
And
really good.
really,
Like,
really good.
yeah,
Really,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So, and Brett used to live with Jesse,
Oh, really?
and yeah, yeah, yeah. So they're like, and honestly, you put them next to each other, they look exactly the same.
Yeah, they do.
It's kind of like one of them's Walmart Brett. You choose which one. But and yeah, so I got speaking because I felt like I was kind of at I come to an end of a cycle. I
Yeah,
wanted to have um, I wanted to work with someone on a new creative vision.
yeah,
It's not my strong point. I've worked with people in that capacity for years, and I spoke to him. And I'm trying to think of the name of the. I was having a chat with Jesse, and I spoke to him about. Um, he asked me like, what labels were you like? Did you like the creative direction for? And I didn't have an answer. Then I remembered. Um, you might have to edit this bit because it's going to take me a while to remember the name of the label. It's not like it's one of the big famous French electronic labels. I'm trying to think of the name of it.
not Ed Banger.
Not Ed Banger, it's the other one. Oh my God, I can't remember the name of it.
I'm googling it now.
not Headbanger. I swear, like it was someone like Nala or something had a record on this label.
Oh, really?
Anyway, it was one of the only labels. Like I'll remember it in a minute, but
Yeah.
it was one of the only labels that I thought like I remember seeing their creative and I was like, that's fucking sick. They've got a shop in France or something like that as well. The label's
Is
got
it
a
the
shop.
fashion company that's not actually a label, but they have a label as a side project? Because I
Mm,
think I know who you're talking about.
I don't think so. No, they still release
Okay.
records.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I can't remember. Completely forgot the name of it. I mentioned that label and he goes, funnily enough, I have this creative that I was actually thinking about to team you up with.
Yeah.
And she worked on that label. She worked on that campaign.
Oh,
So
that's
that's
cool.
how I got connected with Sarah. And then I started working with her last January, met up and talked over
Mm.
what I wanted to do, how I wanted things to look, what were the things that I wanted to do, and etc. We started doing a bunch of things, and one of the things that we started conceptualizing was I told her that I wanted to work on an album. I showed her the album up to that point, and she started conceptualizing it. But she was the one that came up with all that artwork,
Mm.
and
Ha-
it was her vision. So I listen. I'm not. I've never been. I know what I don't like,
yeah.
um, but I've always worked with creatives on the visual level, even on the show level. I've always just been the thing that I am a control freak on is the music.
Yeah.
But once you branch outside of the music, I'm collaborative, and I'll
Mm.
always seek to work with people that
A
just
better, yeah.
just have a better grasp of things
Yeah.
in that regard. Even with the shows, like I with the shows and show design and that
I was going
I'm
to say, do you
involved, but
work with set designers?
yeah, I work with them, but like I'm lucky I work with Brett and Cody who are very hands on with that stuff,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
trust them. I trust them with it. So we're collaborative, and then yeah.
How important do you think it is for new artists today or established artists to kind of work with visual people as well?
It depends how strong their it depends how strong their creativity is themselves. Uh, I have never been that great with that stuff.
Yeah.
I just I looked. You should have seen my stuff 20 years ago. Bloody awful, absolutely awful. And I realised how much I didn't have my finger on the pulse yet. I felt like I had something with the music. I always knew I was kind of like searching for something to look great, and it took me
Yeah.
a long time to figure out how to make that all work. I think that I do think the way that things look is important. Um, but there's just so many different ways of going about it. There's so many different
Yeah.
styles. It's funny. I feel like the some of the stuff that's the most powerful the last couple of years. I think there's a massive amount of creativity that goes into it to look like there's no creativity that's gone into it.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Um,
look at like Fred again, right? Like
that's a perfect example. But
nothing's
there's loads
polished.
of work that goes into that.
Dude,
Loads of
like,
thought. It's fantastic.
yeah,
They've done
like
such a great job.
it's such a personable brand that everyone can relate to. But then
Mhm.
you don't realize like that there's like 10, 15 people behind just that of like the communication side of how it's perceived by the public.
Yeah, it's great. Fair play to them.
Yeah, it's
Fair play
fucking
to them.
amazing.
Yeah, and I think I think the role of it is increasing and increasing, and it's a lot. It's expensive. It's
Really
really
fucking
expensive,
expensive.
really
Really expensive.
expensive,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's a lot to take on. I mean, I think about I just even think the shift in the last 5 years, the amount that I'm doing now
Mm.
compared to then is even greater.
Well,
Yeah, it's tough.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? Is because I do that you could push back on it, but I do believe there's kind of a given that if you're in this industry, not just music, but like anything in the public forward or public facing like industries, you kind of there's so much expectation to like present yourself in a certain way, and you can't. It's branding. It's branding, right? But that does cost so much, and then you're like,
Yep.
is it worth it?
Well, I feel like let's just say in our genres, okay. We're not there's only a kind of like a 1 degree separation between me and you, in my
Yeah,
opinion. It's not like they're not worlds apart, even
yeah,
though in a way they are, but they're not.
yeah.
Like, um, I feel as if we kind of like there's a, there's this sort of inherent problem with a lot of like bedroom producers. Like, I'm gonna make an assumption: when you started making music, you sat in that fucking room with your first synthesizer or your first computer or whatever,
Yeah,
and you made beats for fucking 10, 12, 14 hours a day
yeah,
for months or years. And that's all you did. You never came out, did fuck all, you're a hermit, but you learned how to make great beats.
yeah.
And I feel as if there's just like, I feel as if um, the downside of being a studio hermit is it kind of like it disconnects you a little bit from life and culture and like the other parts of culture that are really exciting and vibrant, and we end up being really good at making beats. And then there's other bits that I think there's not that many artists that you kind of like you look at and you go fucking iconic. You
Yeah.
walk around iconic, whereas you look in other genres and you're like, there's loads of iconic,
Especially in
looking
like
looking people.
punk bands,
Yeah,
rock bands, like rappers. Look at some of the rappers. Like you're just like,
really, really exciting. But
yeah.
like DJs,
But
most
do you think that's because of the culture? Do you think that's because like
yeah.
it
I think
was
I think it's
never?
I think it's a variety of things.
Yeah,
Being a studio hermit, being like we don't use microphones. We're not really like most of us don't use microphones, or definitely didn't grow up using
no,
microphones or interfacing with the crowd. We're hiding behind music,
yeah.
and we kind of like a lot of people grew up hiding behind the music,
That was the
and
whole
then
point of it.
right, but there's no hiding behind them. Well, there's only so far you can hide behind the music nowadays.
You're so lucky that you tour with Fish.
Tell me about it. It's fucking great. That's honestly why it's um one of my favorite performances, and I tell
Yeah.
people that because it's like it actually liberates me. I know I'm up there and I'm not the sole focus of attention, and it's
Mm,
fantastic. And because he's genuinely naturally good at doing that.
yeah.
And yeah, you're right. I'm glad you recognize it. I fucking love
No,
it.
man, it's actually really nice to see because it's like it's when two worlds collide.
Yeah.
And like I know you've been very apparent in his career over the years and still are, and you're best mates, but like it's interesting to see two completely polarizing situations work so well on stage in Coachella. So
Yeah, it's
it's
fun.
like
It is fun, but like, it's yeah, it's maybe that kind of like a juxtaposition, or how different we are, that kind of like makes it work.
mm.
Um on stage he's definitely the alpha. Fucking hell, man. It's actually got like he's actually a lot easier to deal with nowadays, but
Now he's got a kid.
yeah. Yeah, no, he's slowed down a lot. But
I've seen it.
but even then, like, man, like we did the pop-up in Sydney,
Yeah,
and
he's on one.
he was on one. Holy
He's with his people.
shit! It was, oh man, it was heavy. It was heavy.
Yeah.
It was that was the most that was the closest he's been. He was right on the edge of being an absolute menace, but he wasn't. He was actually it was really
Mm.
fun, but he was just teetering along this line of like being an absolute devil.
It's so
So
good to watch though. It's
yeah,
it's it's mental. It's mental where he's at, right? It's like if you think about from Cut Snake to now. Like it's crazy how
Well, but I don't even
how
feel like the performance is really that different. It's just like
no.
like
It goes back to what we're saying, branding.
yeah,
Like
yeah, 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 yeah.
let's be realistic about this. It's like same with Noizu, right? Like you look at
Hmm.
like certain branding situations and it's like how do you present yourself to the public
Yeah.
and look where it can go if it's presented in the
Well,
correct
that
way. And
was
I'm not
these.
saying that
Yeah, well, Fish is a great example though. He kind
yeah,
of like he knows how he wants things to look and how he wants to present
yeah,
it, and he's far more opinionated than I am. Far
yeah,
more opinionated, even in like the when we're talking artwork for our shows, and it's quite funny how you know there's been various examples where I'm like internally where I'm saying yeah that's fine.
yeah,
I was thinking like the Hollywood Boulevard poster and like um there's details in the poster that he's talking about. Like, I would never have noticed that. I would never have given a shit, you know, because it's not my forte, but it is for
yeah.
him. It holds importance for him. So,
Mm.
yeah.
I want to dig a bit deeper into that. Like you've over your whole career, you've been very generous to helping other people's careers and kind of working with people. There's a long list of people that you've supported over the time, me being one of them as well. Where does that come from?
I get like I just I like being honest with my opinions. And
Yeah.
like uh, I kind of have just talk about with you. I kind of like
Mm.
I you've sent me. I actually feel like it's rare. I do feel as if it's rare to find people in this scene that will be honest in a good way with you,
Yeah, yeah,
honest to be productive. Um, and I like being honest to be productive.
yeah,
And I like seeing people win. I like, dude, you're a talented guy. You're really talented, and I like, and I've loved. I've loved your music for years, and then if I hear things that I think you're not hearing,
yeah. Which we all do, right?
yeah, I like telling you.
Yeah,
I feel like I'll tell you if I feel like it can be done to the benefit of your song and your career.
yeah, yeah,
I want to see you win. So it's
yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah,
um, but I feel as if there's a lot of focus on. I feel as if there's a lot of focus on you know like my part to other people, but it's also discounting so much what other people do for me. And like,
yeah,
a lot of the, um, I've just developed relationships over the years that are kind of like, I'm just trying to be helpful. And these people end up helping me. And it's really, really good. I've got great people around me, really, really
yeah.
great people around me.
And I think that's why you win, right? And I think that's why everyone around you wins because it isn't a one up thing. It isn't oh, there's nothing. You're not gaining anything out of it from helping people. None of us are, right? And but eventually it comes back around, and those things do help you, right? And I think there's no better thing of seeing someone that you've had a really good conversation with and really helped them out. There's no better feeling if you're that person and then seeing that person win.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
great.
literally the best. It's the
Yeah,
best.
it's fantastic. It's fantastic. You mentioned Noisy as well. He's another good one. I had some
Yeah.
really uncomfortable conversations with him
Mm.
at some pivotal times. The
Yeah.
he was a bit public with this. I got tagged in a video. I'm sure he won't mind me saying this. But I was tagged in a video. He was on. I think he was on Sirius XM,
Yeah.
and he was explaining how Noisy got its start. But essentially, what happened was. Um, which I'm trying to think how much of this to what detail I should explain this, but
I know what you're gonna say, and I've seen the clip as well.
yeah, there is additional detail to it,
Yeah.
but what he said was that I basically called him and said that he should change his name
Yeah.
and start a new project, which is essentially, yeah, that's essentially what
What
happened.
happened?
But I
Yeah.
also knew, I knew there was preconceptions to his previous
Mm.
project
Yeah.
that if I had have played the song, I don't think it. I feel as if like the preconception would have colored the song.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
essentially, I called him and I said, I have a vision for what can happen here. I don't think it'll happen unless you do this as a fresh new project.
Mm.
And he listened to me. That's
Yeah.
essentially what happened. That was I remember that as clear as day because it wasn't a comfortable conversation. And this is also a time where, you know, and I feel really attuned to this because of what's happened to me. But I know that there's a lot of talented producers out there that can end up making some wrong decisions that
Yeah.
color their perception within the industry and limit their options about how they navigate through the rest of their career. And I felt like that had happened to Jacob,
Mm.
to Noizu, and that's why I spoke to him. I really like the guy. I really,
He's a lovely guy. Yeah.
yeah. We had the same manager for a while. We were on the same management group. Um, I just wanted to see him win. I
Mm.
just wanted to see him win, and I felt like he was making the music that um, could get attention. And anyway, so he ended up doing it. Changed his name to Noizu. The first record was Laser Beams. That came out on the Hausler compilation with
Yeah.
that I put together with Skrillex, and he launched his career off the back of it. And he's doing really well now, and it makes me very, very happy that um, I definitely didn't have to have that conversation. I didn't like. Um,
He probably would have worked out himself, like we all do eventually, or not all of us do, right? And but I think sometimes it takes somebody to say, "Dude, this is no malice. I'm trying to just. This is coming from the kindest part of my heart. Try this."
yeah,
And
yeah,
you know what? Like sometimes I genuinely like. Sometimes you kind of wish somebody would tell you something like that every single day
yeah.
because you know how it is, right? During the dark days of your time, right, of your career, sometimes it's like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Like, why is nothing working? And like the easiest thing is somebody can look in from the outside and go, well, this is why. And
Sometimes the
I
most
don't.
obvious things are the most
Oh, it's
difficult
the
to
hard.
recognize.
And I don't think your team can always notice that as well. I think it's
Yeah,
very hard sometimes because your team are just in it. When you're so deep in it, you're like, well, I don't know.
yeah, because sometimes as well, the people close to you as well can be too invested in trying to make it work,
Yeah,
and sometimes the thing to make it work is to really roll things back
yeah,
and
yeah,
plan like
yeah,
quite far ahead. You got to like remove yourself from that kind of like short to medium term like goal, and you got to think something like with much greater
yeah,
vision. That can be really
yeah.
hard.
It's really hard. Really,
Kind
really
of deep,
hard.
this isn't it, Will?
I like deep, man. No, but okay. Clooney, another example. He came on the podcast and was like, Chris was massively in a huge part of the start of his career in America. Like, look what he's doing now.
Sick,
Biggest,
isn't it?
biggest thing since sliced bread. Like, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. It makes me so happy.
Mm.
It makes me so happy. And uh, he had me over the other day at his house. When he had to cancel his shows in LA.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and anyway, so he had a weekend off. Me and Chris Lorenzo both had weekends
Oh,
off as well.
amazing.
He cooked a roast dinner, didn't he?
Did he really?
Mate,
Legend,
he
legend.
is. I
It,
think he's maybe a better cook than he is a DJ. And I say that with not an ounce of comedy.
yeah,
I'm being dead serious. It was
he's
an
that good.
absolute. 10 out of 10 meal.
I love that. What did he cook?
Roast dinner.
Yeah, but
He
what
did
meat?
what meat? Did what was the meat? Chicken? I think he did roast chicken.
Mm.
Did a Paxo stuffing.
That would be
Will,
completely
hang
lost
on,
on
two
all
two
Americans.
seconds. Someone's at the door. Hang on,
No
just
worries, mate.
hang on. You can cut this, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. No, I didn't. I just heard yours.
Wait, okay.
Yeah.
Everyone okay with your room, sir? Yes, thank you, madame. Um, yeah, so
Paxo
Paxo
stuffing.
Paxo stuffing. He made another form of stuffing. It did roasted potatoes, absolute god tier roast potatoes.
I didn't know you
Uh,
could get Paxo stuffing in America.
he brought it over.
Did he really? He was forward. He knew what he was doing.
He knows what he's doing, man.
He's planning it.
Yeah. Anyway, and then what else was in there? The veg, god tier. The only thing that I think that he fumbled on was the mashed potato, but I fucking hate mashed potato, so I didn't eat it. And Loz said that like the mashed potato could have just been a little better, but I don't give a shit because mashed potato can go get fucked. Like
Why didn't you like mashed potato? What happened
that's what you
there?
like. I just look at that stuff and it's like that's what you serve to like fucking Deirdre with dementia in the fucking old people's home. Like I just picture someone with no teeth, like they're being fed mashed potato because they haven't got any teeth and they can't chew
Yeah.
things.
Have you ever had pom puree though?
I have.
That's fucking good.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just a texture thing. I don't know. I love I love roast potatoes.
Roast potatoes are banging. They are banging.
Anyway,
Don't really, yeah.
he's a great cook, but I think the success is deserved. I just love like there was a I really love outliers in the scene, and I like
Mm,
and people that have like a flair that kind of stands different to other people. And what I loved about Clooney when he was like coming up in 2019 or whatever, but I just felt like he was making some like bolder, less safe choices within house
mm,
that I just didn't feel like a lot of other people were making. And he
yeah.
just took really unbelievably simplistic, fun house grooves, a la what kind of Solid Grooves was doing. Just fucking sampling massive vocals and really making it work. And like it was some of the most extreme forms of simplicity, but it was
Yeah.
unbelievably effective. I could just feel it. It just felt different from him.
Mm,
And then he hasn't really stopped. He's just really, really good at sampling. I mean, Stephanie's a perfect example. I mean, I know, I'm sure everyone's sick to the back teeth of hearing that vocal, but like, that's a great thing for him.
yeah.
That's a great thing for him, and it's impressive. I remember, like, we did a back to back at Elements in 24.
Yeah.
I think he played it for the first time, and he played it, and the place erupted. I was like, holy! I thought that was some.
Massive. Yeah.
I thought
Some real.
something that had been released
Yeah.
years ago that I wasn't aware of, and no, that was his upcoming track. It was massive then, and now it's scary big.
Mm,
He's just great. He's a great artist, and really really has a clear vision of how things should look, and how he wants
yeah.
things
He's
to be.
really good at that. He's
Really,
really
really,
good at
really,
that.
really good. Really good.
Yeah.
He,
Attention to detail.
he deserves everything. He's
Yeah.
everything he's getting and everything he's doing. So
No, I agree, man. I agree. Back streaming on Thursdays.
yeah, that's been really fun. You should come on actually.
Yeah, I'd love to. I was getting changed the other day in uh Michigan, Rothbury, Michigan, before Electric Forest, and I saw it pop on my YouTube, and I was like, "Fuck it, let's go on."
Yes. The one last week.
Yeah, yeah.
What was I doing?
I don't know who you were with. I don't know who was coming in.
Was it
It
Bonobo?
was just you, maybe.
No. Who was I with last week? I just I can't remember what I did last week. Oh man, I'm
It
so
wasn't
tired.
last week. It was the week before,
Bonobo.
actually.
It's Bonobo.
Yeah,
Bonobo came
yeah,
in.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun, man. Like I've never watched it before. It was great. I was just watching for half an hour, and it just seems fun. Like why start that again?
I think again, it's a continuation of this progression that I'm kind of going through where I I've definitely always wanted to, I've definitely always grappled with how I could show my personality in the most
Yeah.
natural way. And I did really enjoy my dabbles into streaming during the pandemic. I thought it was really fun, but I also at
Mm,
that time wasn't in a position to do it the way that I wanted to do it. So I wasn't at my own home, wasn't at my own studio. So it was a bit of a mess. Technology's changed, my vision of things have changed, and I just felt like this could add a different element to my creativity. I can show people what I'm doing,
mm,
share my knowledge, build community, build relationships with people on stream,
yeah.
and the other added benefit is I can get messages out in a natural way. I can tell people in a natural way
Yeah.
what's going on in my life, in my career, what thoughts are going on in my head. Someone just goes clip, clip, and it's up on
Yeah.
socials for good or bad.
Or bad.
I've said some dumb shit on there, but I enjoy it, and I think like I can definitely tell that something good is happening with it,
Mm,
because already people are
when's the next one?
asking to go on. People are
Ah,
pitching to
right.
go on,
Yeah, yeah.
which is great. So
That's funny. That
it is funny. It is funny. So
everything's such a promo nowadays.
yeah, but I, I think it's like I also I appreciate as well like. I know what I'm doing is still current. It's still, still relevant. And I wouldn't say there's that many people that are streaming that are kind of like in the now, you know what I mean? That are
Yeah,
doing
yeah, yeah, yeah,
but there's a
yeah.
few people that Disclosure's one of them. And
Yeah, they're doing really well
yeah,
with that.
Fred's been doing it recently too. Um, I don't know. I'm not sure who else, but
Obviously, Dead Mouse.
Dead Mouse.
He hasn't stopped
Yeah, yeah,
since
yeah, totally.
since 1999.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's actually really interesting though because I think the industry is slowly evolving to understand like where the rest of the world was on technology with streaming podcasts and everything like that. Like even like for this podcast, most people say yes now. If you know what I mean, it's pretty easy to get people on here and have good conversations. Where before, when we started in the pandemic, people didn't really understand what this was or what a podcast was for the music industry.
yeah.
Like you had Zane Lowe that did great interviews and still does, but there wasn't really many other people in the music sphere doing that or in electronic music. I think the world's just changed more and more, which is great. It's great for us.
Yeah, it's fantastic. You do a great job. I really enjoy what you do. So,
Cheers, man.
yeah, it's
It's good fun.
yeah.
It's good fun.
Are you're doing it
Um,
every week then?
yeah, it's actually the bane of my life um,
Y-
because I do everything on it as well. So it's like edit, all like everything. So it is a lot. But I really enjoy the conversations. The conversations outweigh the headache.
Right.
Right. And it's like, yeah, I think it goes back to what you were saying. For me, it's more about just like giving. I wish I had this when I was younger. I wish I could go into the brains
It's my belly.
of
If you
it.
can hear that, by the way,
I
my
couldn't.
belly's
You
just
good?
got. Yeah, my belly's
You
going.
good? Um, I wish I had the knowledge of what some people bring on this podcast when I was starting out.
Would you have
Um,
listened at that age?
yeah, yeah, I think I would have. I'm a sucker for like podcasts and documentaries. So, would you?
Yeah, I probably would have. If it came from the right person, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think who I even listened to back then.
Well, there wasn't really anything to listen to.
No, I guess not. Yeah, you're right.
Like it was Pete Tong,
The best.
the best, but like that you never really got interviews.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you couldn't DM a DJ.
Have
You
you
couldn't
had
do
Pete on
anything.
here?
He keeps on saying yes and then just never books it in.
He's a busy guy, though.
We'll allow it. We'll allow him to not come on, but that is the goal.
We
But I
work
want to
around
move it.
him.
I do really want to move it in person.
Come on, someone clip this. Come on, Pete. Let's speak to Will.
Come on, Pete. We just send that to him over and over
My
again.
son would say it's essential. You come on.
So, are you doing? Let's move away from that
God,
one.
I'm lame.
Are you doing a big tour after for the album? Like, like, have you announced? I haven't looked.
It announced a few days ago.
Okay, sweet, cool.
Yeah, it did announce a few days ago.
Yeah,
as of this air date. Yeah. So not crazy big, but yeah, there's some cool shows there. There's some big venues.
How many talking?
Let me have a look. I can't remember.
Because I want to talk about you going into the cycles. Was it booked on that basis of like, you know what, I want to do the album tour, I want to tour the album?
It had that.
Like,
It had that in consideration. So hang on. I think we've just announced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 13 shows.
Nice.
So DC, Boston, Minneapolis, San Francisco, Austin, Dallas, Toronto, Atlanta, St. Louis, El Paso, Phoenix, Vancouver, Seattle. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, it'll be fun. Yeah, it's taken that into consideration.
Yeah.
You know, got like a 2-3 year plan of what we're doing. So, you know, but these things can change. We'll see. But I think, yeah, I think I'll just be moving to doing more of these kind of shows
bigger things.
I've definitely enjoyed this album. So I've definitely enjoyed this album cycle. I do think I'll probably start writing.
Well, I remember talking to you around Christmas time. I think it was around Christmas time. It was towards the beginning of the year, and you were like, "Yeah, I've just taken like 4 months off touring." And like, how does it feel to be in that position to be able to do that? Because you haven't always been in that position, right?
No,
you don't
I haven't.
always take 4 months off.
It's good. It's really good. I think I don't do it very often, but I definitely, you know, called the team in, raised the flag. It's like I need some time off.
Yeah.
I need some time to do some other things, and yeah, it was much needed. Very refreshing, and yeah, I want to do that more and more often. I want to stay in love with what I do. The traveling is hard.
Yeah.
The shows actually getting more and more tiring. Not
the expectations of the shows, right? Like the shows get bigger.
Yeah, I mean, like, actually, do you know what? It's actually not the shows that I've my normal shows. I find I cope with quite well. You put me in a club nowadays, I struggle.
Yeah.
Not with the set, but the fucking time I'm playing.
Yeah.
I genuinely struggle in it. The area that really burns me out is
Europe.
I'm so regimented with my sleep and when I wake up. But when I go to bed late, I still wake up early and I can't get back to sleep. So I just end up exhausted due to not being able to sleep properly. That's the problem that I have. It's not necessarily, because it sounds really weird, like, you know, that I'm finding it so exhausting, but it's the sleep. I don't know what it is. I've never been able to fix it, but I have to get to bed at a certain time to be able to get a full night's sleep.
Yeah.
And when you go and put me in a club and I'm getting to bed at 3 o'clock, my ears don't stop ringing until fucking 4:30, and then I'm waking up at 7 or 8. It's like, that's not good.
It's not fun.
That's not good.
It's not fun.
And that's where like if you're doing that too regularly, that really starts to just strip me down, and that's what I've got to be careful of. I don't want that. I don't want that 12 months of the year. I don't want that.
No. Well, I think is also people forget is when you go home from touring, you also have a life, right? We all have
Apparently.
lives. Yeah, right. And our partners, our families don't. You've just fucked off for a couple weeks. Like when you come back, you're in full on husband mode, wife mode, dad mode, whatever you are. They don't. There's no like, oh, just chill for a few days, look after yourself. No, it's back to fucking life.
Hmm.
You've neglected them for however long you've been away. So that is also the thing that I think I've noticed it the most recently in the sense of living full time in the UK and the back and forth flying from the States every other weekend or every weekend. And you're like, come back and then you still have to do life. And you're like, catches up,
It does. It's real.
catches up.
Very real. Very real.
But it's fun. I think we're also very fortunate of what we do.
Yeah, 100%. But there's still,
Yeah.
there's still like a bit of balance you got to find. I think
Yeah.
like balance can be sometimes a bit of a mythical a mythical word.
Word. I don't
Um,
necessarily agree with that. I don't agree that balance is key. I don't
no,
think we know what balance is.
yeah,
If you want it to work, there's going to be a level of imbalance for many years until you can realistically until you can financially or turn around and say, guys, I'm not happy. Did
yeah.
you did you fall out of love with it? Was there a point where you jaded?
Um, no, I wouldn't say so. Um, no, I still love the music.
Yeah.
That's never been a problem for me. So, yeah, and I always try to like. I think it's important to try and understand what's happening in the industry today, what's happening with youth culture musically, um, understand what's popular, what makes it good, because a lot of it I have to force myself to understand rather than naturally understand,
Yeah, of
because
course.
double the age
Evolved.
of I'm double the age of that kind of that target audience now. So it's funny, but I enjoy listening to that, trying to understand
Yeah.
what makes it good, what makes it great, what makes it fucking annoying, like all
Yeah.
whatever. I think there's always something to learn from it.
Mm. No, I agree.
But I also think it's like I think you know it very often happens that you probably see this quite a lot. I know who some of your idols are, and some of your friends are. A lot of the older DJs, like start to kind of like hold what's current in disdain,
Yeah.
um, and view it as it's not as good as what it used to be.
Yeah.
It's I completely understand it. I completely understand the sentiment, but it's short-sighted. It's short.
It's also
What was that?
it's also career destroying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 100%, 100%. Because it's like you, you know, essentially what what we do and our music
Yeah.
is for predominantly, not exclusively, but predominantly for young people.
Yeah.
The biggest group of club and event attendees are what, 18 to 25.
Yeah, Max. Yeah, yeah.
I'm not that. And um you
How
know
do you stay current in that though? How
exactly,
like
so you just
what
like
what
listen and
yeah.
kind of like have a belief in have a belief in what I'm doing, but also like
Mm,
keep moving. I wouldn't
yeah.
actually. I feel like what I just said might sound like just listen to what's happening today and like adapt to that. That's not actually what I'm saying, and that's not what I do. But
No, not at
I
all.
kind of like I still think there's like these little micro adaptations that you can make. That there's things to learn from what's happening today and
Yeah.
what the behaviors of kids are today. Um, I'm not completely closed off to it.
Mm,
Um, and I don't think that what they're listening to is shit. I don't always completely understand it, but I always try to
Understand
understand
it
it and
or
listen to them.
accept
And
it.
listen, yeah, and
Yeah.
exactly. And I 100% accept it.
Yeah.
It's,
Well, you can't change the narrative. Like, not you as, yes, you can have an effect on it because
mhm,
of where you stand in the industry, right?
mhm.
But you, at the end of the day, if some new kid from the Netherlands pops up and is doing something that's way bigger than you can't stop it.
That's great.
Yeah, man. I love that.
It's
Let's
great.
wrap this up, man. We've just done
Yeah.
an hour. Thanks so much for coming on.
Oh,
Congratulations.
thanks for having me. And it's always nice
Always
chatting.
welcome. And that's a wrap. Much love to Chris for coming on. Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, go subscribe. Go give us some comments. Go give us some reviews. If you're still here when I'm blabbering on at the end, then I love you to bits. You're the best. Till next time.